Hi there guys, it's me again. Welcome back. In my last video, I shared how I I altered this book for my Winter Day book this winter. Since I've turned the camera off, I've put some fabric on the back and some of this upholstery silk on the front with a doily, which I had a bit of an accident, a bit of a glue gate thing going on there with the silk. It actually came through even though it was on card. But not to worry. I thought what I'd do to share with you some of the elements that I've popped aside to try and use in this book. Collected over the year really, some from my stash. This is from a little address book to Mrs. Coggs, which I've popped onto some sticker paper. This is a Stamperia pad, I think, called Blue Country, and I'll be using some of that. Page from last year, more from that Stamperia. This was some printouts from last year from Etsy. So lots of things I've got popped aside. I love those images. Sometimes you're going through an old book and I just tear out some images that I think would look lovely. So remember, I'm going to be going from December, January and February. So this gives you a little idea of the different things I'll be working with. And I've actually printed out the quotes from Barbara from 49 Dragonflies on the sticker paper, so I'll be using those. And this is one of her freebies, the weekly I wanted to stick in as well. So anyway, at the very front, when I open up, I want that lovely calendar picture, and then I'm going to pop together on the back of the calendar. I'm going to put a piece of blue paper, so and do it as a fold over rather than covering both sides. Appreciate with altered books, there are times when perhaps you won't cover the whole page with the image or something else that you want to cover with. So I've just decided to go through on the edges with I think it's called Broken China, that Tim Holtz sort of distress ink, and it just takes the glare down of little bits of the page if they show through. So yeah, initially I was going to glue the whole thing down, the whole picture down, and then I thought I might just get a little bit more journaling space by covering the back of the one half and having it so it folds up and down. I looked. One thing that was interesting. Barbara was working in her lovely sort of day book, and found that she just kind of gone in and started working on her book, and then ran out of pages for the last month, which I would have done as well had she not done it. Because you just want to get on. So I've counted out the different pages that I want for each month. I've got about 17 to 18. So yes, this I thought I'd just pop the December. As soon as you open the journal, I want to see that that's December. And I've been hoarding this calendar page for an absolute age, and I thought it would be lovely. It's so beautiful. And although the December will be peeking at the top of the journal, I don't mind that at all. So I'm going to just stick down the one side onto the inside front cover of my journal, and so when it opens up, that will be open, and then I can flip it over and have journaling space on this lovely blue kind of vintagey parchmenty paper that I got from Amazon. The nice thing about the glue sticks I've found working with those is that it gives you time to move things about a bit once you kind of stick them down, but you've got a bit of wiggle room to adjust. So we're still working with different glues. That PVO I used on the front, probably not brilliant to be fair, but there you go, not to worry. So I'll move that down this page because I'm going to put the rest of the doily from the front cover over the top, and I wanted as much of the tree and stuff, the skyline as possible to still show. So I should glue that down, and I chose that doily because it's part of a vintage haul that I had from one of the charity shops, and I have put different pieces in journals to sell, and sometimes you just want to keep a couple of nice pieces and actually use them for yourself, so that's what I'm going to do there. Pop in a little bit more of the broken china, I think, on that inside page. Right, so I've done the front page, and then I want to put my first weekly in, and I've done that onto sticker paper. And the little elements on the two elements, this one here and the one on the right, the little beautiful card, that's from the Stamperia Blue Country that I've been hoarding. And this little grid paper kind of post-it was from Paper Chase. I've had that for ages. So I want to layer that. Just putting a little bit of a blue tint around the edge of my weekly, which I really do need now for different, especially with the homeschooling thing, different Zoom meetings that we have on a daily basis, different groups. I just need to be able to put those details in beginning of every week and being able to find them quickly. So that's quite different from my day books from before that have been quite fluid and just mainly for my daily scriptures, and used to be for who I was meeting, my volunteer work with my friends. But now I need to have a little bit more of a planner aspect to my day book. And these freebies from Barbara are absolutely perfect because you've got like a junk journal stylish aspect to the planner side. Don't want it to be too crisp. So then I decided I would tip that little piece in, and I was going to use some washi. And again, but on a Barbara's tips I thought was interesting was just using your cut-offs from printouts. These little bits were cut off for some printouts that I did from Etsy, and just glued those down. And rather than putting them to one side, which we all do and think we will use them, and then they get in the way and you just end up chucking them, I thought it was a good idea just to use it straight away. Use it with the project that you're doing. So again, just going to glue down that little cut off, and I'm going to use it to tip in that journaling card from the Stamperia paper, which is absolutely beautiful, and I will use it throughout this journal, I think, because I love the way that's lined, and you've got the almost little cluster kind of vibe on the side. Now this would be absolutely perfect until I folded that over and I thought, let's ink that, and it's looking sharp. I was really quite pleased with my little self as to how that looked, and then I realised that I'd actually put it in upside down. So not so sharp, not going to lie, not my proudest moment, but thought I'd keep it in because it happens to all of us, doesn't it? Didn't edit it out. So so just found another little bit of my cut off a strip, and I've gone in again to glue that back in the right way up. Happens to us all, doesn't it? Happens to us all. So that's looking better now, I think. That's looking better. Yep. A lot better. The right way up. So it was one of my books. I saw the little phrase Winter Wonders, and I thought, yep, got to have that in my journal. That's useful little idea. And again, I've taken it from a little snippet from a cut-off piece of ephemera that I'd printed from Etsy to glue that down and then put the Winter Wonders little snippet over the top. It's kind of a sentiment, isn't it? So I thought I'd do that, and it's nice because I love the way it sits in with the colours. And then you have a moment where you can't find your Winter Wonders little snippet, and then you find it. So after pausing the camera and going back on again, so found my Winter Wonders, little bit of gluing, inking, and pop it there. I didn't like it so much, thought it looks a little bit nicer, a bit interesting, more kind of, layered, a little bit off centre a little bit. So I liked the way that looked. And yeah. So yes, the winter quotes look fabulous. So I decided to cut out the Hello Winter for the beginning of December and pop it onto the little journaling card that I've tipped in. Popped it on an angle there, looking so it looks kind of like it's supposed to be part of that cluster. That was the idea, and decided from what I learnt with my Autumn Day book, I did have some sort of weekly plannery type pages I made for myself, but I had to keep scrolling through every time to find them. So I'm going to be using tabs. I'm going to be using sort of little bits hanging off the top or the side. And on this one, the first week, I thought I would just use some of that kind of eyelash trimmy thing that I've had in my stash since, for a long time, and looks lovely. I used it a lot in my last year's winter day book. So I thought I would just put a little eyelet on the top there, and then pop the eyelash trim through, and that can peek out at the top. And I can find that easily, especially once I've put bits in the rest of the journal. I'll be able to look at that and flip it open and know that that's going to be where I can find my weekly layout for this week, or for the week that whatever week. So quite happy with that. And I've transferred the little that little dangle on the bulldog clip that I made for last year's, and that's really quite nice to be able to find things as well as my bookmark, as to where I'm up to. Thought I'd just add a little bit of glue onto the front here, onto my little doily, which reminds me of a snowflake, and that's why I thought it looked really pretty there. And just taking a bit of the excess off, because I'm always heavy-handed with glue, always. You know what I'm like, absolute glue gate. So scandalous. And then I might do a little bit, just finish off a little bit on the inside as well, I think. Did I do? So that's it. That's my inside page, and my first kind of spread